Greetings, brothers and sisters, and other Hollywood celebrities dropping like flies.
They're dropping like flies.
Listen, people are dropping like flies out there.
I am
Boop.
pissed off.
We're dropping like flies around here.
We're dropping like flies here. Jeez, sir, 2 more just went down. Dropping like flies.
Too many people around here been dropping like flies already, and where's that getting us, huh? Nowhere. Fast.
Biden's being Biden's being extremist.
Crush that fly.
I just want to start here with the Sound of Freedom. I might continue this on my other channel tomorrow. We'll see. But let's watch this lady here first.
So I just got out of the theater. I went and saw Sound of Freedom. I got my glasses on because my eyes are all swollen from crying.
There's a huge debate in the truth community now because I'm getting all these various videos of, divisive opinions. This movie's dividing people. And it's because the people who enjoy this movie don't get it. Like, even the people who watch my videos on it. I got a few comments to get to. A couple of them are hilarious, but some are more telling. This person writes, I'm 15 minutes in and still waiting for you to get to the point. Right? Again, what do you think's going to happen here? Like, do you think you're talking to me while I'm making the video and I'm going to hear you and I'm going to get to the point? Right? Or maybe you don't understand the point is probably a more accurate description of what's going on. But you think by leaving that comment it's going to change anything? Like it... just verbalizing what's going on inside of you. Like, there are a lot of things that other people don't care about and don't need or want you to say, or, they don't want to hear them and they don't want to have to respond to them. And so you have to have like a filter in life, especially here, because, I have zero tolerance for all this stupidity. So that I just threw that in. That was an extra comment that I was just up there. But here, and that was a video on my other channel. But here, there is a blonde woman from Texas, and I'm saying that because just to understand the context, at least that's the name says Texas in it, and it's a blonde woman in the the thumbnail, a younger woman. Your take is awful. So this is me talking about how right-wing truthers got worked and played by Sound of Freedom. Your take is awful. You are actually denying child trafficking with a question mark. I'm not denying any of that. Why would I do that? Why would I? You didn't understand a word I said because I never denied it. I denied the validity of the movie and how manipulative it is and how dishonest it is, right? I would never trust you around children. Do you think I'm offering my babysitting services? Yeah. And so this is a interesting sentence because what she's saying here, I would never trust you around children because I was telling you that they're manipulating you in the movie, right? But what you are saying is you would trust somebody around children who didn't like the movie. You don't think pedos would lie? You don't think these predators would lie and pretend that they're a part of this or, they're a part of this movement? And there isn't people in this movement who are creepy, right? Who are attracted to kids, because that's what this is about. The people who are attracted to kids, and most of them don't want to be. They've been sexually abused themselves, or there's something twisted and wrong in them. They know they're freaks. They know nobody likes them. They know that in jail, the other prisoners hate them. They're outcasts even in jail, right? Murderers and, whatever other various criminals that are in prison look down on pedos. They all know it, right? And so they're people who hate themselves and, they wish they were different. Some of them, most of them, I think at least some point in their life, right? Not that I'm saying be compassionate towards them, but what I'm saying is they're liars and deceivers, and they know what you think, and they're going to tell you that, yeah, they'll be there talking about how great Sound of Freedom is, and they have their own deviant tendencies, right? And so it isn't a barometer of who likes the movie or not. It's the fact that this movie is targeting right-wing people in the cubies. And so it says here, at least this movie showed us the real quick who the pedos are now. Yeah, I mean the ones that they said in the movie, right? The only people who would be against the movie would be pedos. Well, in your little small binary double-digit IQ mind, it would. The reason to be against the movie is manipulative, it's divisive, and it isn't going to have the effects that you think it is. It's not going to stop anything, which I said my original thing. There was nothing political in this film. It's just child poop. Jeez. And so that was a comment from that person. But then there was this one here. You are targeting a demographic that's not how you sell stuff. You need to go see it. What? They are targeting a demographic that's not how you sell stuff. You need to go see it. It's not really fair to talk about something that you may know about but haven't experienced. And that, my friend, is undeniable. You're a good dude, Paul. Go see the damn movie. You know, I could barely make it through the trailer. And I can watch crappy stuff, like some crappy things, some stuff that's for dumb people I can sit through. But I couldn't sit through this movie. And the reason is it's manipulative. It's a bad movie. It's targeted to, people who are wired differently than I am. The demographics of the cubies and the people like that. It's hard for me to get through those movies. Like I can watch action movies. I can watch some patriotic movies if they don't lay it on too thick, right? When anybody lays their stuff on too thick, it's like watching feminist movies. There's woke stuff in pretty much every movie now. There's this woke, agenda stuff. But I can tolerate it if it's just a little bit. If they just sprinkle a little bit in to appease like it wasn't part of the movie, but they have to appease the money people that are making it, the powers that be. And I can tolerate that. But when it's laid on too thick, like in this movie, and it's so blatant and graphic and in your face, how manipulative it is. The manipulation is just so obvious. And so I can't make it through the trailer. How can I, watch the movie if I can't even sit through the trailer? It sucks. It's bad filmmaking. But on top of that, they're using child trafficking as a weapon against you guys who are watching it, to manipulate you in whatever way possible, whatever their agenda is. And there's a lot of agenda here, and it's divisive and all these other things. They're using something like that, right? They're using something that's abhorrent to divide and to, plan your emotional strength and things like that. And that's just like a different level of evil. I mean, they're using something that they know they're targeting an audience that this means something to. The guy who's the real life hero he's not a hero. You can just tell the way he talks and how he acts. And he's into the celebrity of it. He's into the, holding court. And I mean, we've seen this before. And everything about it is just slimy. And if you can't see that, you can't see it. But we can. Like those of us who can see it, we can see it in the trailer. We don't need to watch the movie. We can see the way they're playing on you and they're manipulating you and they're targeting a demographic, all these things. If you can't see what I'm talking about, then, you're just not smart enough or perceptive enough or whatever it is. It's not rocket science, but you're blocked and you can't see it. Maybe you saw the movie and you got worked and played by it. So you're embarrassed when you get called out, but lots of people in the truth community can see this. And the other aspects of it, I covered this, I don't know, my video on my other channel that I talk more about this guy who, this whatever his name is, Slim Shady or whatever, the drug dealer that paid for this, and Trump said the guy's owns more, has a controlling share or the largest shareholder of New York Times and this other stuff, right? This is, you're being played. You're playing on. I don't care if you watch the movie. I don't care if you like it. It's none of my business and, not my problem. But, you know, the truth is there if you want to see it. Like, and it's that you don't. Like, that's the problem. You say that you're a truther, but when you get worked and played yourself and you buy into something, you can't handle it when people point out something that, you know, that you've been duped or fooled. And, you know, that's something you got to get over. I mean, everybody gets worked or everybody gets sucked into one thing or another. You know, people will manipulate you and whatever it is, right? But, you know, you have to be able to confront the truth and, you know, things that are unpleasant for you to hear. But let's get into the other stories here. Before that comment, the original comment from that Texas lady came in a couple of days ago. And I want to say this is classic Hubie behavior. Because when you criticized any of the content and any of the false BS things the Cubies were putting out, they would accuse you of being either a shill or a pedo or whatever, depending on what it is. It's right from their playbook, right? You disagree with their perception or view, and then you say, oh, you must be one of them, right? And it's like, you know, just, I mean, why are you guys still talking? Like, you haven't embarrassed yourselves enough, right? You haven't got played and worked enough, and, you know, you just keep on coming back for more, like Marjorie Taylor, like Stupid Green. Like, she just goes out. I saw another video from her, and they just, you know, you keep on blabbing and talking like you're smart, you're not, and like you're the bottom half, right? You're below average. Your intelligence ability, your ability to perceive the world and understand that. Like, you know, when you were in school and everyone was smarter than you, and, you know, not everyone does well in school. I didn't do well in school. You know, I struggled to, I mean, I had a high IQ, but you know, whatever. I had dyslexia and, you know, it wasn't made for me. I didn't, it's not an environment I thrive in. And it's not about being like, you know, bad in school, because that's one level of intelligence. But like when you sit places and you're watching shows and TV and things that are for smart people and you don't know what's going on, you need people to explain it to you, and then you still can't understand it. You understand that that's because you're stupid, right? Like, you're not smart, and, you know, it's okay, like, that you're doing your best or whatever. You're doing your best, but your best isn't worthy of, like, taking up space on the internet. Like, you're just adding to, you know, the disinformation and the stupidity and you know, all of it. And of course you're going to find other stupid people and content. They make most of the content for stupid people. So you're going to find things that encourage you to be stupid and to continue with the idiocracy. And you just got to realize that. Like, you know, I mean, this is what's wrong with democracy, because most people can't even, you know, perceive the ability to have abstract thoughts and, you know, have more than a binary way of looking at things. And if you have that, yeah, great, it's limited, and, you know, it's whatever it is. And you have something you can still offer, you know, service, whatever, you know, skills you have, you can still contribute. But you're not a great thinker or somebody who sees things or understand things or whatever. And so, like, being on the internet and trying to explain what's going on in a world you don't understand because, you know, everyone else, like, more than half the people are smarter than you, you know, and of a higher level of consciousness. And so most of it's confusing to you, and you feel like you're going to go out there and blab about stuff and, you know, just be like a pain in the boop to everybody else. And, you know, it's no fun for us, right? Just, you know, find your niche, your level, and just stick there to it, and let the thinking for the people. let other people do the thinking, or develop some critical thinking skills, and, you know, go through the tough. I mean, you know, I don't know what people have in terms of gray matter, but in terms of, you know, effort, like, just, you know, learn to confront yourself and push yourself and, you know, expand your consciousness. You can do that as well. I don't know. But what you're doing now ain't working. All right, let's get into the other stuff here. The movie Soul in 2020, Jamie Foxx played the character Joe, was a musician that fell into a coma. I didn't see this, but, you know, these things constantly happen, right? Jeffrey Carlson, All My Children actor, dead at 48. He played a groundbreaking transgender character on the show, has died at 48 years old. I'm not sure what the time frame is. What was the soap opera? The All My Children. And it doesn't say, there he is there. No cause of death revealed. Actress Rosanna Arquette crashes into car in Malibu shopping center. No injuries reported. This has been happening a lot. There's been a lot of celebrities driving into houses. And she seems to be a very strange person. She is 63 years old, so she was in Desperately Seeking Susan with Madonna. She was looking for Madonna, who played Susan. And Madonna wore a Illuminati coat, had a capsule and a pyramid on it. But she comes from the Arquette family that there's her annoying brother that was married to one of those Friends girls, the Monica one, whatever her name is, and Courtney Cox. And then there was another sister who played a medium, and she was in a number of movies, Patricia Arquette. And then there was the brother who accused Will Smith of having a beard marriage, and she has a gay brother who was also dressed up as a woman, and he died. So they have a celebrity Hollywood family, very but here she is driving through this thing here, kind of like another Hollywood actress or Hollywood celebrity losing their ability to drive. Mike Mantar Hellick dead, former WWF wrestler, dead at age 55. I don't think there's a cause of death to this either. Probably heart related. Peru declares health emergency due to spike in Guillain-Barré syndrome cases. A lot of this going on. We think we know what's causing this around the world. That disease is something. This is, I can't remember the actress's name. Joan Van Ark is her name. I remembered the show she was on, Knots Landing. And she had quite a bit of plastic surgery, right? And I don't know if they have a picture. This is what she looked like when she was younger. She's on that show. And she hasn't really done well. She's 80 years old, so she's a year younger than Joe Biden. That gives you some perspective. And plastic surgery just, bites you in the boop as you get older, right? Like, the most ghoulish looking people are the ones that had extensive plastic surgery, because it just doesn't age well. There's, it gets rid of some wrinkles and stuff, but it makes you look like an alien, and then you just get old anyway, right? And we know it doesn't work. I've said this over and over again. So this is from up here. They first featured this in the Daily Mail, but she's just ghouling up, right? And just, again, a year younger than Joe Biden, and she's just not human anymore. Sleepless nights for MyPillow founder Mike Lindell as he loses $200 million after sales dropped a staggering 95% since major retailers, including Walmart, pulled his products over his election claims and company is forced to auction off equipment. I'm actually also going to say this. I'm going to read this again on my other channel, because this shows you, even if you're a Kennedy or, a billionaire like Trump, or you're, whatever it is, you cross the powers that be, and there's no forgiveness, right? They'll go after anybody that goes after the system. Stadium staff and medic go into cardiac arrest as Ed Sheeran concert in Pittsburgh as 17 more hospitalized. Ed Sheeran fans hospitalized during Pittsburgh show. In CNN. A total of 17 people were transported to the hospital with various health emergencies. Seizure, 2 cardiac arrests. That means their heart stopped. I don't know if what's happening. And it says 1 cardiac arrest on the floor, was treated and transported to a hospital. Another one here. Ed Sheeran has had a tough life. His best friend died, and his wife has got severe health issues. And now there's all these people dying at his concerts. Thelia Charvera, New Mexico State soccer star, found dead in her home days after her 20th birthday. It doesn't say here what she died from. So, she was found unresponsive at her residence, but they don't have a cause of death here. It says was found unresponsive. This is also what happened with Madonna. Their death is suspicious, and so they don't know what killed her. Another athlete, young athlete. Okay, so this dude is struggling with an otter here. A sea otter, quite big. They're bigger than I thought. I've seen otters before, but not sea otters. But the otter just takes his, just rips his surfboard from and starts chewing on the side of it. It's eating the plexiglass. He's trying to. Well, you're not gonna win this battle, bro. It's a sea otter. They're meant to swim. You just climb up here. I guess they're in a. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that dude. These are Jaisley's lyrics across the Brooklyn Public Library. He might have donated a lot of money here, but the library is featuring his lyrics, and that speaks for itself. Doctors reattach boy's head after a car accident, thanks to amazing surgery. Yeah, he doesn't. He looks like he's not all there, right? I guess they're able to reattach heads now. Zion Williams' suicide Instagram post sparks concern during off-season drama, and so he posted a photo, and then there was Notorious B.I.G. Biggie song "Suicidal Thoughts," and the lines were, "I can't believe suicide's on my effing mind. I want to leave," and he banged a porn star or something, and his girlfriend's pregnant, and that's why. And so here's somebody. Oh yeah, I want to get to this thing here. One of my viewers sent me this.
Lost your car in a crowded parking lot? Well, I might have just the science hack to help you find it. When you're out of range for your car remote to work, you can actually use your head as an antenna.
Yeah, why would you do that? This person's named Conspiracy Minded. Why would you use your head as an antenna? Did you hear what you just said? That you want to use your head as an antenna? You think that's a good idea? I'm not using it for anything else, so let me just zap it with a little electromagnetic poisoning, and turn my head into an antenna. You guys remember this girl? She was the one that said there was an artificial person sitting next to her on the plane, and she freaked out and yelled at the other passengers. She's got the two fingers down here and the two fingers over here. Of course, we have Mel Gibson there, and then we have Baphomet here with the double fingers. So there's that. Elon Musk says Twitter is losing cash because advertising is down. That's self-explanatory. Crack houses are so much fancier these days than in the 90s. Successful drug dealers in San Francisco can make as much as $350,000 a year per a new report, more than the average senior software engineer on Google. I was listening to a short interview with Kennedy and some guy who left, was it Rubin? I'm not sure what the guy's name is. But he left L.A. or California because of Newsom. And Kennedy was talking about how San Francisco's, all the expensive retail, the big, what they used to call those department stores and things like Macy's and Tiffany's, things like that. All those stores are closed because of their horrible COVID policies. Remember, they didn't reopen even after everyone else did. And San Francisco is just an absolute mess. But, if you're a drug dealer, There's promise. So one of my viewers sent me this. Here's a guy, one of those modeling agencies, and boom, it goes too far, and he falls off the end of it. They cut that out there. So this is breaking news yesterday in Laurel, Montana. A bridge collapses. A train transporting hazardous materials. The train cars were carrying hot asphalt, molten sulfur, and petrol. Now those are in this river here. So that's good for people living around there. So here, Kamala Harris reduced population gaffe, sparks anger and conspiracy theories.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
No, it's actually less children if you're reducing the population, Kamala. Kamala, you're wrong about that, because there'll be less children if there's less population. You know, she didn't intend, she meant to say pollution, obviously. But, you know, it's classic Kamala. Like, she sucks, and she can't even blame dementia, right? Mom who documented ovarian cancer battle on TikTok dies at age 30. Well, you know, there's this, what they're calling, I think, turbo cancer. Bethany Frankel criticized for buying ridiculous $20,000 Chanel birdcage bag. This is idiotic. I kind of just barely know who Bethany Frankel is. Like, she's, maybe I've covered a couple times. She was one of those original New York housewives, the real ones or whatever. Real ones. But she's complete ghoul here. Look at her.
You might have heard of called Channel. No.
I mean, look at those, and that's not a good choice of makeup when you have everything. She looks like a cadaver.
No, I think it's called Chanel. This is so special that I think it requires my first real unboxing, like for the first time ever.
Like for the first time ever. I'd like to hear that accent for the rest of your life.
Special tissue paper, and the baby's inside. This is the baby. I know people drag it out, and I should drag it out. This doesn't deserve this, but this is where we are.
I mean, just that's just, full out ghoul there.
It's very special. I will tell you that it's very special. There are very few that were ever made, and maybe in the world, and so I want to show you when something's really special, and this is it.
Oh, like, you're carrying that around?
Let's do it. The Chanel bird cage. Paul likes things that are very unique and special. You're not going to see everywhere. And he likes collectible items. So he always asks me, like, is this a major bag alert? Hold on. They're calling because it's a major bag alert. Look how pretty.
This is obscene. It's like an emperor has no clothes. You're going to carry this uncomfortable bird cage around?
So it's got a pouch inside. What's beautiful is that it does hold your cell phone. So it's got this pouch. It's got...
It sucks. This is so impractical. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, those ghoulish hands and...
got like this velvet bottom, and it's got feet. And what we did sell ourselves on was that it's also a piece of art. Like, you could leave this on a coffee table, and I shall.
And why would you?
This is how you hold it. So you're just like super relaxed, just holding your bird.
Yeah, that's great. That's a wonderful thing. Like, who wants to carry a ball and chain around with them? It's not even a bird in there, you moron. Like, at least if there was a bird. I mean, it sucked for the bird.
Cage. And look, the baby birdies are right there. Look, they're...
Oh, there they are. All right. Just unbelievable. Alex Nicholas claimed Jonah Hill slammed her against the door, shoved his tongue down her throat when she was 16. So Jonah Hill's, they're canceling him, and it's happening quick. Canadian man fired from a job after saving moose from bear. Baby moose from bear. I couldn't just leave her. So here's the moose here. And there they are together. There's a black bear, and he decided that this moose needed to be relocated and saved. And a neat-looking little moose there. And the people who were running his, he's working for some oil company. Instead of reporting the situation to a conservation officer, allowing the authorities to handle the rescue and relocation of the moose, the individual made the independent decision to transport an uninjured moose calf, a wild animal, in the front seat of his company vehicle for many hours, said AFD. Petroleum not only put the employee and other road users at risk, but also potentially caused distress and harm for the moose. Gwyneth Paltrow addresses whether she licks boop, boop. So she opened up her comment section, said she would answer all comments, and somebody asked her if she licked boop. Crystal Hefner deprogrammed after life with you at toxic Playboy mansion. She had to be reprogrammed. What? Deprogrammed, I'm sorry. Not reprogrammed. Because she was programmed at the Playboy mansion. Botch doc Terry Dubrow issues Ozempic warning after Lisa Marie Presley autopsy. And so I didn't know there was an autopsy. That she lost her life due to a small bowel obstruction after bariatric surgery. And such it says here, 64 is now urging experts in the weight loss community to raise awareness of the dangers of weight loss treatments such as Ozempic and bariatric surgery. She was schooling it up as well. Woman arrested in connection with the death of Robert De Niro's grandson, sources said. Sophia Marks was charged with one count of distributing and possessing with intent to distribute fentanyl and alpha-zolan, which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison, and 2 counts of disturbing and distributing and possessing with intent to distribute fentanyl, each of which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. I guess his granddaughter died of fentanyl use. I kind of remember that. Then there was this here, Jojo Magoo.
His trip overseas,
What the heck is he doing here? And the kid wants no part of it.
Trip overseas, just leaving Finland a short time ago on his way back from the United States. More
The kid wants absolutely no part of this creepy
analysis on his performance on the world stage.
Kid just turns away. Yeah, the kid doesn't want that. You Gropel and Snooze and MNFer. James Webb Space Telescope, 7,600 light years away, which is this many miles. White House security camera 15 feet away. That's a great meme. Secret Service ends White House cocaine investigation with no leads.
The Secret Service coming up empty. After days of investigation and sophisticated forensic testing, officials cannot identify who left a small baggie of cocaine in a store.
Okay, so did you guys start with Hunter? So here's the thing. The White House is supposed to be the most secure facility. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, what else is more secure than the White House? And it's at least one of the most secure. It should be the most secure. And there should be cameras everywhere. And, all kinds of ways of, you know how it is. And we have the surveillance state. And they're saying they can't figure out who had cocaine in the White House, right? Like they know. They got to know, right? Like the Democrats who voted for Biden and will do so again aren't going to care about this, and they're the only ones that matter because everyone else is kind of over Biden at this point. But, they should be able to, if they can't figure out this kind of crime at the White House and they're just giving up.
Storage cubby used for electronic devices near this West Wing entrance. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy raising doubts.
But if they can't tell us who brought it, what else is happening in the White House they can't tell us about? What else is coming into the White House they can't tell me about? That even concerns me more now.
Lab tests conducted.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, the obvious point there. If you can't stop cocaine from going, how are you going to fight, the war on drugs if people are snorting cocaine in the White House? And it's, if they're doing it, Hunter Biden's got to be top suspect.
at the FBI crime lab did not develop latent fingerprints and insufficient DNA was present for investigative comparisons. Officials said they used video and entrance logs to compile a list of more than 500 individuals who had access to the entrance in the days before it was found July 2nd. But without physical or video evidence, officials could not connect the drug to any suspect.
It's a complete failure. I mean, this thing is ridiculous.
The White House.
I mean, it's embarrassing. There's just one, Jojo Magoo slipped again. I'll talk about that on my other, video on my other channel tomorrow, whenever. But things are falling apart and have been for a while.
Said it is reviewing the findings. Democrats acknowledge, despite law enforcement's efforts, the mystery remains.
It seems like it's...
This guy with his do-rag.
At this point, it's just inconclusive.
Kelly O joins us live tonight. So, Kelly, while officials say they found no evidence of who the bag belonged to, do they have a theory?
Well, Tom, that entrance is used on private tours. Contractors are doing renovations of the Situation Room. Staff and military walk through that entrance, too. But sources...
You really drank the Kool-Aid there, Kelly.
Is familiar with the investigation
Kelly
say
O'Donnell.
A leading theory is it could have been a visitor.
What's wrong with Kelly O'Donnell? Like, she's not a human. Like, just to wrap this thing up, I want to go back to the beginning comments about the sound of freedom. If you like the movie, you can't understand why other people don't. Like, you don't understand why people can't see what you see. But to the rest of us, it's not enjoyable. It's, it's stuff that is so cheesy and so, it's like if it's targeting you and you're into it, it's like people who dress up and go to science fiction conventions and, I can watch science fiction movies, but I'm not getting in a costume, right? I'm not learning to speak Klingon or, like there's levels to things, right? But your movies, these movies that are targeting so-called patriots are, very specific to your group. And the rest of us just don't like them. We don't enjoy them. It's just hard to sit through. Just like sitting through a feminist movie, like I said, or this woke stuff. When it's, so saturated in political view and, it's going after just a certain specific demographic. The rest of us, it's just cringy. It's just, we have an aversion to it. And you should understand that. Like, it's so blatant. It's screaming manipulation right in your face. Anybody who comes in and just agrees with a certain point of view in the truth community or any politician or actor or people, famous people or movies or content that's so specified. And this is to the, the right-wing cubies and the people who are up in arms about human trafficking, but not in a way that's going to do anything about it. Just like a group, like a motion, like a group emoting about it. And, finding an echo chamber. Like this is all echo chamber stuff. Where it doesn't go to any other group or demographic. It just isolates you from the rest of everybody else, and then they can say, hey, see, guess what? This is all fake. See how cheesy it is? This is, just a conspiracy theory because all these dopes believe in it. And you're the dopes, right? So it's like, and I'm not saying that to be insulting. It's just so obvious to the rest of us. Like we can see it. Why, it is insulting, but it's not meant to be. It's like we can see it and you're not seeing it. You're not, you won't like allow anybody else's view or lens into your, consciousness. I mean, that first lady, that QB, these people who, they get so like emotionally upset that you dare to believe something different than they do. And you have to be a criminal or a pedo or a shill or part of the deep state. And like it, this is why they acted the way they did. They drank the Kool-Aid hard. They went in hard and they got played so bad. You guys got so humiliated and embarrassed when Trump went down the way he did. And you went down with the ship. And none of this stuff came true that you guys said was totally going to come true. And then you hid out for a while. But now they're like, pulling you back in with this movie or other things, right? Like you can't, take the QB. You can't take the QB out of the dope, right? Anyways, only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely reporting for the Apocalypse and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.